Hello everyone, Brody here. Today we're going to be looking at the severe weather potential for Saturday, June 27th, 2026, currently 12:23 p.m. Trying to get this out rather quickly, so my apologies if I mess up. I'm sorry in advance. I'm trying to get this out rather quickly. Currently an enhanced all hazards on the board today. 10% Sig 1 tornadoes, 30% Sig 2 wind, as well coincided with 30% Sig 1 hail. Going to be covering most of North Dakota into South Dakota, a little bit of Wyoming and eastern Montana as well. Let's go ahead and dive into the synoptic. Here's the 500 HRRR. Here's 6 p.m. Well, one thing I notice is there's a bit of defluence here. You got these southerly winds coincided with these southwesterly winds. This causes defluence, which aids in severe weather potential. So look at the 800, the 850. 850 ripping across the Dakotas later this afternoon. Our area of interest is going to be this triple point right here. Maybe a little bit more into North Dakota-ish area. 850 is not going to be a problem. 850 is going to also help with moisture transport, bringing these the rich moisture from the south, going to be throwing it, if you will, into area of interest. This triple point, coincided maybe with a bit of a surface low, perhaps. We'll take a look at that here in a little bit. Let's look at the current 500. You see the southwesterly flow feeding into this triple point. Still is well coincided with this defluence aloft, and should be okay to get these storms started up. 850 is already imminent. Not gonna have to worry about 850. 850 is going to be doing a really good job playing its part in today's outlook. Here's a mixed layered cape. Got a bit of a bullseye there at that triple point, upwards of 4,000 meters squared per, or 4,000 joules per kilogram. Effective bulk shear, right where you would expect it to be, more than enough, upwards of 60 knots of effective bulk shear. And what I really want to look at is a 3-kilometer instability, which this is very impressive amount of 3 cape. Yeah, more than enough that you could possibly ask for a tornado genesis. Just for the fun of it, let's look at the effective layer significant tornado parameter. It's trying to put a little bit more to the southwest, or southeast, which that's a prime example why I always take the parameters. I just glance at it just to maybe see if it's agreeing with everything else, but in this case it's not really. Dakota's wise. And let's look here. Here's a effective storm relative helicity, but it looks okay now. If we go zoom a little bit on here, still in it, upwards of 200 meters squared per second squared, which is more than enough. But if the system uses that storm relative helicity, if it already starts to intake it early on, there's not going to be too much left to work with once it's passing through the triple point, which could be something that might cause this outlook, this severe weather risk, to not be as good as perhaps maybe not be as good as we first thought, or as we are currently thinking. But that's just one thing to keep in mind. Very steep lapse rates, upwards of 8.5 in the mid levels, and then lower levels even steeper with 9.5 to even maybe 10 if it trends a little bit more northern or southerly. Let's look at some surface. So yes, there's a surface low up here with a frontal boundary cutting through. You can see the one barbs is kind of agreeing with that, as well as a frontal boundary, maybe a warm sector up here with a triple point here. Maybe 1, 2, 3, maybe even 4 surface lows. That's really interesting. Let's check out the dew points. Dew points are not going to be a problem. Like I said earlier, very good moisture transport via 850. And the one thing I like most about today is the amount of theta E injection into the triple point. This is going to aid so much in tornado genesis. I can't emphasize that enough, how much it's going to aid in helping these storms become very robust, very rich tongue of theta E. Honestly, that's actually, let's look at some cams. Here's the H triple R. We got 3 p.m. Central, 4, 5, 6 p.m., 7 p.m. By 7 p.m. or so, it looks like it's wanting to turn into an MCS, just H triple R wise. But we're gonna have several hours of discrete cells, which is going to be honestly more than enough to have a decent potential for tornado genesis. I can compare models here. Let's see what the Rufus is thinking. Rufus is highly agreeing with HRRR on storm initiation time and as well as storm mode. So that's pretty much it. June 27th, 2026. Stay weather aware. Dakotas, Wyoming, a little bit of Wyoming, and eastern Montana. Stay weather aware. You're gonna have some pretty severe weather coming your way. That's it for this risk. I'll catch you guys in the next one.